This is the evolution of the communication attempts. I mean, that's just all I can determine it to be. He's dangling there in the sky. This is going 4 times the normal speed, so the shifting of the symbols isn't happening this fast. That's 4 times slower. So anybody with a camera that's like, hey, what's that? We have the technology to use our cameras to zoom in on things like that. This is before the sun is in the scope, I guess you could say, to like, because I noticed that, if it tries to be near the bright sun, you couldn't and shouldn't expect anyone to be looking in that direction. But this isn't in the direction of the sun right now. I wish I could hold it steady, but where is it? So again, it's going 4 times the regular tempo, but all these flashy things are being captured by the camera. That's what it's being captured. Hello. Hey, y'all. How is everybody tonight? Is Saturday Night Live going to have an episode or what? The hell? Interesting. I love these projection inflections too because they tell us things that can be triangulated about, inferred, triangulated and inferred from these projection inflections about what's going on in the cosmos. I think that we should be using our intelligence to do stuff like that. Yep, that's what we should be doing. Using it for our benefit, not like exploitation. Yeah. When it comes down to it, the people that are running the show, like, the billionaire boys with their applications and stuff, this world is a piece of shit right now because of their dream world, their fantasy land that nobody would agree with. Nobody would agree with, up to and including like their own family members. It's absolute insanity that they wish to have this type of control, but it's the military-minded men that also think on the same wavelength. It's all gross and disgusting. Every use of the intelligence is being exploited for the improper reasons. It's no wonder that it's no wonder that our civilization is on the brink of having to eat its crow soup. But the way that Dr. Michio Kaku is talking about this Atlas stuff, I can't believe that's his actual words. But would you want someone pretending to be you and using your proxy face and your proxy voice, saying scientific jargony stuff that you didn't actually put out there? Yeah, you'd think there'd be some protections for people who care about their reputation. Well, so why did they let it happen? Because the pieces of shit who are running this situation, they want their data more than anything. And they're going to sell it like it's all research and development, but they're not gathering any good data. They're not getting any good data. They're simply getting selfish, take it from you data. It's all disgusting. What's going on in the cosmos, guys, matters to all of us. Not just military-minded men or boys that know how to program computers. They're acting like scaredy cats. They're acting like humanity's going to fall apart at the reality that there's more life in this universe than us. Listen, I want to see a list of the names of people who freak the fuck out when they find out that there's life outside of this planet and us. I need to know their names because they're absolutely invalid. They don't have a competent conscience. They're not competent, okay? If you don't assume that there's life outside this planet, you're an arrogant asshole. Okay? Yeah, no doctor, no military men. People are not going to freak out. That's going to be finally refreshing to hear you guys speak truth for once. Out of this. It's out of control. It's out of control. But what do they want to talk about? They think that they're going to extract technology from Atlas and deploy their immediate response team to go obtain a sample from what they don't even know what to call it, 187,000 kilometers away. These people are fools. They're using cosmology. They're using genetic science. All these as front operations to say what they're doing in plain sight. It's that satanic language again. They're making that's the beast system, is the way that they've made everything data that can be curated. So that's where they cast their black magic spells. They don't have to get their hands dirty anymore. Isn't that great? That's their beast system. Their false prophet prediction system. Well, everybody's a prediction specialist these days. I guess you guys are all just honing in on your know how to jump to conclusions. You're never going to know what the truth is, but you're never going to engage and ask questions in order to find out either. So everyone's just a prediction specialist watching their pennies on a daily basis. How disgusting is that? How embarrassed should everybody be? I'll tell you, real embarrassed. Not only real embarrassed, Dr. Kaku should be embarrassed that that's what his point of view is. To be scaredy cat talking stuff like, well, we just want to be left alone. Oh, really? Is that right? You barbarians thought you would stomp up in here, destroy everything that was created before you, and that you'd be able to stick around, and a few hundred years later you'd be like, but we just want to have our own independence. Don't you smell the shit you're stepping in? That's what you're trying to do to all the people on this planet. It's surprising you don't want to take a taste of your own medicine. It's surprising. Look at these colors. This is the cosmos for us, showing us in like a screen, teaching us things. Does it have to use language? Nope. Is it communicating powerfully? Absolutely. Absolutely. It does it on a consistent basis. God doesn't sneak up on us. Mankind, on the other hand, would love to make it look like it's everybody else's fault. Sickening. They should be sadly embarrassed. It's interesting how throughout the ages people have talked about mercy from God and being born sinner. Yeah, that's what the criminal taught you to think. It's the criminal parents of yours that abused you into believing it was your fault. Fucking sickos. Nope. Nothing's born sinner. Yep. Man is not at the top of the chain. Nope. Man is not in control of even anything he understands. His own mind destroys anything that he has going for him. Yeah, it's ironic, but their barbarianism inside of them, it prevents them from thinking straight. It prevents them from thinking straight. They think they can steal children. They think that they can rape children. They think that they can keep women as slaves. They think that they can just stomp around with them being like a 1%, everybody else living off of next to nothing. And then they can just teach us to do this. Why are they even curious? Where do they think they're going with that? Well, it isn't anywhere the cosmos suggested them to, and that's what they are. They're a breakaway thought they were. They're a breakaway thought they had their own brain, thought they had their own planet they can just fuck around with. They're going to learn their lesson. And they're going to learn their lesson the way that they choose to, whether they choose to or whether they have to have it taught to them. And how does it get taught to them? Oh, they get to watch us all graduate to the next level, while they get to go and sit in the sidelines and get reduced down to the plank length behind the light. They can watch us all having a grand old time. They'll learn their lesson that way. Then, when we get graduated onto the next level, to light being, after this next one, which is intelligence, they get to start at the beginning again. Cro-Magnon man, have fun. Fucking waster of an orb. Years or something like that is a long time. You don't want to mess around with. Oh, but they don't have any self-control. They don't have any self-control. They can't stop. They're addicted. They're addicted to their power and control. They're addicted to thinking that they know what's best. They don't even know how to make hypotheses to study scientifically. They simply pursue their own ideas. They want to prove that they're right. It's ironic. It makes you almost think that they know that they're wrong. Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. And they want to make themselves a collective. I wouldn't want to be standing next to them on the sidewalk. If mankind is the representation of the statistical history of them, I don't want to be caught standing next to them. Every mother should agree with me. No, women, you shouldn't be some harlot wife that bows at the feet of your master, man, husband, who's part of this collective fuckery. Every man who's a good man should not want to be caught standing next to them. That's right. These guys are scaredy cats. They're thinking they've got to prepare for something. Hello? If Atlas was to anything that was malicious, not benign, you'd know about it already. Fucking idiots. It's because those military men want to push their buttons. They want to use their weapons. You know what? Somebody ought to take them out of commission and put them in a temporary coma. They're menaces to this society. Them and all the leaders. Fools. They're all fools. And all you citizen scientists, you're all fools. All you think you're scientists and have intelligence, way to go. Your mathematics isn't going to save your soul. Well, they're pragmatic. They think they're being Socratic. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what all the other civilizations thought before their demise. They all thought that that was the best way to do it because they just don't know how to listen to God. They know how to focus on what's the constant here. I guess it looks like the life regenerates and there's mamas and babies. See, mothers and children. In our entire world, you see mothers and babies. That's where you get the children. That's where you get the generation that keeps living. Do you understand what I'm talking about? But man rejects this at its basis. Well, why do you think he does that? Because he doesn't know how to feel relevant. Why doesn't he know how to feel relevant? Because he's got an ego problem that he has to overcome. He's like the child that wants to go to college because his older brother is, and he's actually throwing a tantrum, but he's only 6 years old. What do? Do you still give that 6-year-old the keys and tell him to, and coddle him and say, I understand why you're upset, sweetie. Here, let's get you to college then. Is that what you do? That's not what you do. Listen, it has been a lie. They've falsified the whole history. They falsified all of it. They destroyed everything that was already here. Everything was dialed in. God made it. Christ already reigned. Do you see statues of Jesus? Do you see statues of Jesus anywhere? You don't. You want to know why? Because that was a fabricated narrative. Now, was Jesus actually somebody that was sacrificed brutally? Absolutely. Absolutely. But was he the Son of God? Here to be the, if you talk about Jesus having already had happened, and the return of Jesus, again, nobody even wants to talk sense. Nobody wants to make sense of the truth. They falsified everything to have a false narrative because they're trying to control the outcome. They're trying to come up against God. They're idiots. Would you come up against God? I mean, if you're a scientist and you can't say that there has to be a creator, if you can't say that, you shouldn't be doing science. And does that make, and if that doesn't make sense to you, that's because your head isn't screwed on straight, not the other way around. If you're a scientist and you can't admit that you can't make an earth do the sun and the timing and the seasons and everything, can you do that? Can you even come up with a way of even plausibly understanding how it could? Well, they think that they do, but they don't. Just because a computer can render something doesn't mean that's the way it works. And they continuously assault the intelligence for their reasons. And I'm telling you one thing, you guys are headed so quickly, like you guys are about to become a snowball effect, and everything that you've built is just going to be destroyed in your own wake of falling. It's your own stupidity. Yes, Dr. Kaku, you're right. You're right about those few things that you noticed, that mankind didn't do so well. Didn't do so well with his time in charge. Hasn't done very well. Yeah, it sounds like you're a little bit embarrassed when you think about having been watched this whole entire time and they saw everything, our wars, and yeah, did you all of a sudden feel naked? It's interesting because that's what you guys are trying to do to everybody in the world, and all of a sudden you don't seem to like it very much. Ironic, isn't it? But in any event, yeah, everything's been seen. Everything's been known. Everything's been documented. There are higher levels to existence. If you thought that this was the epitome of existence, boys and girls, I'm telling you, you do not think very, you're not very creative. Yeah. You're not very creative. You're not very innovative. You're not even very curious. That should be what bothers you. What should keep you awake at night, Dr. Kaku, is where did your lack of creativity go? Where did your lack of curiosity and wonder go? What did pragmatism do to you? Looks like you're infected by the disease of information. You don't have wisdom. You're applying knowledge. You think it's knowledge, but it's just data. What good is data? Data's everywhere. What do you want with it? Well, they need to harness it for energy. No, you guys are such sledge. You guys keep trying to penny pinch the life out of everything because you want your money is why you guys never even raise the bar. Because you can't move on to the next phase until you penny pinch it to death. That's what you got to do. You got to squeeze the blood out of that turnip before they move on to the next innovation. See, so they're trying to do too many things at once. They're trying to penny pinch us to death, and they're also pretending that they're going to be innovative. Well, no, they're stalling their own self because of their desire to penny pinch it to death is why they have to live in the world that they want to manage. So these are pieces of shit that just want to stay in a piece of shit. They want to hang out in a pile of mud. That's the truth. This world is as good as they let it be. And this is it. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait to meet the leaders of this world. Whoever you are, step forward. I can't wait to see who are the leaders of this world. Step forward, because you will have the opportunity to make your entrance, and for everyone to give you a round of applause if that's what they so feel moved to do. Do you think the people are going to clap for you when the gods arrive? Do you think you're going to be complained about, or do you think that you're going to get rave reviews? What do you think? Don't talk to me about sneaking up on you with it. Well, we didn't even know that this is coming. What are you talking about? It's all over the place. It's part of every single prophecy has been talked about. God can't give you any more notice, honey. God can't give you any more notice. Dear God. Thank God for being beauty. Thank God for being just peace and wonder and color and flavor and scent. Do you know that the love is the force of creation of everything in the cosmos? Yeah. Light is a repercussion of love. And you either have it or you don't. You either have it or it's missing. It's not there's not an opposite to it. There isn't an adversary to the cosmos, to the harmony in the cosmos. Everything that is negative and ill-willed is the absence of that light, absence of that love. And that's exactly what it is. And when people start recognizing it for what it is, then they'll start seeing the solutions come up. When they stop trying to make this a Semite world, where it's one against the other. We got one apple, we're cutting it into two halves. One's gonna be the winner, one's gonna be the loser. What a pessimist piece of shit. No, you don't take every apple, cut it in half, and decide one half is the winner, one half is the loser. Well, that's their mentality. Yeah, when you realize that everything is love, or the absence of it, is when you realize that evil people are just people suffering from severely broken love, severely neglected love, severely violated, abused, harmed love, lied to love. That's where you get your psychopaths. That's where you get your military need to fight. They want to get their weapons ready. Do you know how dumb they look? They look like they're paranoid schizophrenics that went on an acid trip and didn't come back. That's what. That's what. You better believe this cosmos is beautiful, and you better believe you didn't have anything to do with it. I'll tell you one thing else. One other thing, Mr. Mankind. You also had nothing to do with the human population. That's right, 100% of us came from us mothers. Did you notice? Did you notice that you didn't have anything to do with that? I don't care if you found a cloning machine. I'm talking for real, for real. They have the audacity. They have the audacity to try to tell us what's going to happen with our children and if we're going to fight in your wars. Sorry, son. Your mother didn't treat you, didn't raise you right. But guess what? God loves you, and God's got seasons. God knows sometimes things fall into stupidity, and then things can get righted again. It's a wonderful thing when the seasons change, because you know that there's another season that passes, and the next one will be even better. And so mankind needs to open up his mind and be thankful that God has seasons, and that God is love, and that God is nothing like man. That man is so at the beginning and the low. He should be so thankful to realize he's at the bottom. Mankind should be so thankful to realize he is at the bottom, nowhere close to the epitome. Because that should be relieving. It should be relieving to go, oh my God, thank God. Because I mean, and can you think about all the people that actually believe this nonsense? That follow the rhetoric that mankind is teaching everybody out of their dumb curiosity. Now, I happen to know a few things. I happen to know that these things happen when you've got barbarians trying to steal technology they don't know how to use. Trying to suppress things that they didn't make. Trying to pretend like they're inventors of something they just swooped in on. It's a parasite. It's possessing the minds and the bodies of these human beings. They look like humans. They are not under human influence. They are being controlled by this parasite. Yeah. And they're in all the areas of authority, guys. That's exactly what criminals do. They put themselves in the line of work that they can get away with their perversion for a job. So make no mistake, just because it looks human doesn't mean it is. Okay? Just because it sounds pragmatic, that should be your first red flag. Probably not human. Hey, Dr. Kaku, I'm going to have to ask you to step up your human communication skills, sir, and stop trying to sound like a robot. We can let the computers do what the computers do. You can go back to being human. You don't have to compete with me. They need to compete with each other. That's what it is. They're competing with each other. They want to be the smartest guy in the room. Well, how embarrassing they should be embarrassed. They should be embarrassed for trying to sound like computers because they're never going to be one. And I don't care, Mr. Elon Musk. You're not putting your chips in anybody's brains. You're halted. You are halted. You are not moving. We are not going in that direction. And I don't care if it breaks your heart. I don't care if it breaks your heart that your rockets aren't getting you to Mars. Sorry, son. You shouldn't have figured that would be the case. But you guys are liars. You guys are covering everything up. You guys need to listen to yourselves, Dr. Kaku. You guys need to hear how you sound like scaredy cats. It's no wonder your military doesn't want to say anything, because you're scaredy cats. And it's because you guys don't know how to even engage. You don't know even how to ask questions. You don't know even how to read the writing on the wall. It's no wonder they had to send me in to help the situation. And it's not just me. But you better believe, if they're denying everything that is in their face that they know, and this is the situation this is the way that they're handling it, this world shouldn't be in their hands any longer anyway. Anyway. There's a few people that have got some serious ego issues, and they've got their hands on the controls. And everybody else is just lost in La La Land. They're lost in La La Land. Well, they need to take my advice. They need to get my daughter back. They need to get my sister investigated and halted 100%. Yeah, Rachel, that's right. You're at the top of the shit list. You and all your witchy woo. Jorge, you're right beside her. And so is your entire operation. My daughter's being held hostage for over 9 years. They most likely have her plugged into the computer. It's our divine connection, our quantum entanglement. It's my RNA that they've been studying. They've been taking everything from us because we're connected to the divine. All the prophecies talk about it. That's what it's talking about, is us coming here to help humanity. Well, humanity doesn't want to be helped. Can you imagine that? All the prophecies around the world for thousands of years, according to the history, talk about this wonderful thing that's going to happen for humanity. And humanity's been begging for it, praying for it. But what? The people in charge are the pieces of shit that are trying to kill me, so that so that it never happens. No, so that they can pretend that they are that. They can pretend to be the walk-in actor. Hello, I'm the savior of everybody, and so that everybody will just be all woo, and then they'll accept what they receive. That's what they want to be. They want to be permanent imposters. Fucking pieces of shit. You're gonna learn your lesson. You're gonna learn your lesson. Well, you're gonna be who you are, and you're gonna take your hands off of everybody else. Yeah, you're gonna face yourself in the mirror, son. You and your harlot wife. That's right. We know what you did. We know what you're doing, and you're not authorized to continue any longer. You will return my daughter. That will be the answer to your test. Welp, if you don't return my daughter on your own recognizance, well, then what do you think the answer is going to be? That's the answer. You don't have any options. You should have known better. Should have known better than to fuck with God. God. Well, let's see here. They're playing war fighting to pretend like they believe in God. Nope. They worship Satan. They call it God. Of course, it's what you have to call it. But they're Satan worshipers. Yeah, the ones that want to burn and kill and sacrifice bloodlet and all that stuff. They're open Satan worshipers, guys. Yeah, go ahead and just stop lying to yourself. That's what they're going to teach you. But, if you want to pretend like you're not a Satan worshiper, then you're going to have to at least know that you are, to protect your own lies and bullshit. But yes, it's time's up. Dr. Kaku's saying we have 18 months. Liar, pants on fire. Because they're trying to put the word out there, but not really get like anybody to freak out. There's nothing to freak out about. There's nothing to freak out about at all. The problem here is Mr. Mankind keeps trying to hold on to the control of everything. And they can't snap out of it because they're addicts. They're junkies. They're junkies of power and control. It's true. They're menaces to society. I'm talking about the scientists. I'm talking about these leaders. I'm talking about these military generals. They're menaces to society. And they don't know how to think straight, and they don't know how to believe that they don't. They believe everything they think, and they all back each other up like one big pile of pieces of shit. That's what they do. They go ahead and go along with everybody else's nonsense. Want to know why? Because murder-suicide psychopaths are actually psychopaths. They're actually not scared of dying. They'd rather have the thrill. That's why. That's why. Abby Loeb, you are so fired. You are fired. Don't even talk to me. Don't even talk to me. You're fired for your own thoughts, your own intent. You're fired. beautiful. Looks like the lake of fire. Or like the galactic disk of some sort. With like a puddle in the middle. I love it. Oh, my battery. My battery's dying. I'm gonna have to get the other one later.